Hello there, beautiful internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. Right now, you're not seeing anything on your screen because I have tried so hard to make this game work, and I thought it would be easier than Gothic 1 and 2 because it was the upgraded version of the engine, or a new engine totally. And surprise, surprise, I had to struggle for 5 days to make this work. But I discovered the issue, and we shall start the game. It should work. If not, I'm gonna just cry. So it is made by Piranha Bytes and Joe Wood. And we shall watch the cinematic because it's awesome. Oh, look at that beauty. They really know how to make really knew how to make an intro back then. Nvidia and Intel. So, first things first. Go into options. Go into controls. Go into custom and change all of this. Your mouse scroll might not work sometimes, so you'll have to just drag this. But sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I just tried some various things that work for me with the settings, but I highly recommend that you use the same. Um, you don't have many options. Um, in video, it's quite limited. Audio sometimes is very loud, so you might want to play with the master volume and whatever you have here. FX volume, interesting. What else? Oh yes, if you're having Windows 10 and 11 and so on, the game will freak on you and you will not be able to move. So the solution to this is number one, download the community patch and install it, which I did not. I want to play the pure vanilla experience with all the bugs and everything in it. And the second option is to go into the game files, right click the executable for Gothic 3, and then go to compatibility, set it on Windows 7, and run it as administrator. There is a checkbox for that. So 2 checkboxes. And then it should work, because otherwise you won't be able to move or use any actions. All you'll be able to do is to just turn around. I'm not sure what's the problem, but there is a big problem. So, this game is also old, but in the Gothic series, in my opinion, it's one of the best developed in comparison to Gothic 1 and 2 in terms of uh, mechanics. The combat has been improved, and that's about it. I mean, there are a few things here and there that are interesting. There are quite a few good things. I'm gonna just mute the audio for a moment because this music is quite loud. So I'm gonna put it somewhere like here for now. So let's talk about the good part of Gothic 3. It is open world, there are no loading screens, there are no chapters like in Gothic 1 and 2. You can go basically anywhere you wish. You can do pretty much anything you want in the game. They have changed how you level up. They made it that you don't have to go to a trainer, you just upgrade your points in the UI. which is not really a bad thing, but it strays a lot from Gothic 1 and 2. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Um, Also, interestingly enough, when you level up, your combat animation doesn't change. So that's sad. But the community patch and the unofficial patches do kind of make a few improvements and really fix a lot of the game issues, including the structure of the game. They do a lot of good things, but I didn't want to install that because I don't want to confuse people what is vanilla and what isn't, because even I sometimes forget. And they did it so well that it blends perfectly. Um, the graphics are much better. There is, like always, day and night cycle. You can sneak instantly from the beginning of the game, which is kind of cheesy and sad. You also have a stamina bar, which is uh, uh. I mean, I understand why they added it, but I don't know. The game doesn't feel all that immersive with it. And even with when your stamina is depleted, you kind of can neglect it. Um, they've added a lot of new monsters. Uh, all of the characters from Gothic, well, most of the characters from Gothic 1 and 2 are here. The important ones, anyway. Um, Everything that was built up in Gothic 1 and 2, especially in Gothic 2, is presented here very well because they were talking about Mirtana. There are three continents. There is the desert area, there is the middle area where where it's like temperate biome, and then there is the north where it's Nordmar, which is the icy biome. Hmm. Finally, we will see the ice wolves in this game in all their glory, and they're very strong. What else? I'm trying to think of good things to talk about the game before I jump into the bad things. Oh, they added some new weapons. Well, actually, Gothic 2 had the polyarm, but it wasn't. I mean, it had that stuff, but it wasn't quite well implemented, or it wasn't so fleshed out. But here they have improved it quite a lot, and you can fight multiple enemies at once, and it does feel good. Personally, I think it's probably the best game weapon in the game in terms of melee. You have viable ways to fight in the game. Range has been fixed. You no longer just auto attack with range and auto target. You have the ability to load the arrow and pull it to create some momentum, and then you release it in the direction you want. So that's a very good improvement. Mm, there are some, I don't know. There's quite a lot of tiny things that have been also improved, but yeah, sadly, that's kind of all the good things I can tell about the game. The flowers look better. We shall see that. The problems now. It feels like a single player MMO. There are a lot of fetch quests. Unfortunately, the game does not revolve around one particular area. Like in Gothic 1 and 2, you had some hubs where you would constantly return. So for example, in the first game you had like the free camps, and you would constantly have new missions there, and you would go between places. There would be some standalone places such as the orc graveyard, or crypts I mean, or some of the other dungeons, but Here, everything is just like you visit them once, you do some missions for them, and then you forget about it. You never return to them. You have no reason. I mean, maybe towards the end of the game, but even then, it's quite eh, eh. I don't know, unpleasant. Then here, unlike the other games, you can't really join a faction per se. You join some mini factions, but you have to choose one of the gods, and based on that, you can unlock certain things, especially with spells. And in order to unlock spells, you have to pray at the altars. You cannot no longer learn them from. I mean, you learn some things from the mages, but they're not training you as well as they did in Gothic 1 and 2. There are a billion, trillion, million, quadrillion fetch quests, which will bore you to death. It's annoying as hell. There are a handful of good quests in there. Mm, Interestingly enough, all the caves are in the open world, so you don't have, when you go into a cave, you don't have to load or anything like that, which is quite amazing for a game of its age. The optimization is bad. No matter what you do to this game, it's gonna be bad. I don't know exactly what's the problem. Probably it's the way the code was implemented, but it's gonna freeze on you. You're gonna have lags in certain areas. It's impossible to avoid that. Um, Of course, in later game engines that they have developed their other games, such as Reason, they have fixed these issues, but this one has a lot of issues. This game also has a DLC, which is called Forbidden Gods, and I highly encourage you not to get that DLC. It's horrible. They cut content out of the game and they kind of make a better quest line, but mm, it's not a big improvement and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's a joke. Don't get it. Um, there are the magic though is quite well implemented in my opinion. They have improved a lot upon it. Unfortunately, the game wasn't finished, so there will be some issues within the quests or within some uh, reputation with some cities or with some factions, especially with the orcs. I don't know. It's messy. If you get the community patch, they will fix most of that, but you will have quite a bit of a hassle with that. It's not game breaking, but it will be frustrating, especially if you want to do a perfect um, gameplay. Unfortunately, like Gothic 2, they kind of force you to play in a certain style if you want the maximum amount of experience. It's better to not take sides and kind of be neutral and do everybody's quests, which I'm not sure I want to do that because, well, some of the quests are good to be honest, but it's and to be fair, you can take a side, and for example, if you take the side of the rebels and you destroy one or two orc encampments, the orcs will still work with you. But if you destroy more than three, they will automatically be hostile to you. So if you want to experience the whole content, try not to take a side and avoid certain. Well, it's a bit fractured how they did the factions because each town has a leader, and that's kind of a micro faction within the big orc faction or the rebel faction. So then you will have some quests for paladins, which is the most annoying quest in the game because it's pretty difficult to do. And it's optional at least. At least that's optional. I don't know, there's quite a lot of changes, but most of them are not great. People don't like this game because it really lacks the soul of Gothic 1 and 2, especially in the mid game. But I think we can still enjoy something out of it. And to be fair, the starting area of the game is quite well implemented. If they would have focused on, for example, making the castle where the king is sieged one of the hubs to get constant missions there and go in between various other places, and then based on the sides you would choose, because you can choose to be with, well, to be honest, Northmar. Unfortunately, Northmar is the piece of the land that wasn't implemented well enough, because there you can kind of join some clans, but not really. And the orcs there, they, no matter if you're sided with the orcs will constantly harass you there. I don't know why. It's really foreign to me. So probably they didn't manage to implement all of the quests they wanted to, and it's a big problem. Nordmar is a mess. Try to put that towards the end game, because Nordmar is quite difficult to traverse, and it's tempting to go there first, but don't go there first. Okay, so I'm gonna try to play both sides to some extent. There is one extra quest. It's a very hidden quest, and it's basically in the Spirits of Gothic 1 with the tomes that you find in the skeleton tower, and you have to go on a treasure hunt and find the locations based on the clues. They did exactly the same thing here, and the clues are just ambiguous as you would expect them to be. Unfortunately, there are few of them, and you have to do them in a very specific order. It gives you some interesting things, but I don't know exactly. They don't serve much purpose in the game. They look interesting to do. We shall do them. I'll have to watch a guide for that, because I don't know. I don't remember the exact steps. Um, One other problem would be how you can cheese the game. And the game can't be cheesed really, really critical. Um, it can become tedious, unfortunately. There are some interesting things. Finally, we can mine properly here, so we can get ore and gold and stuff like that. The economy is not the best, but then again, Gothic 1 and 2 wasn't too bright either in that department. But yeah, we shall manage. We shall manage, I think. Um, there was one more thing I wanted to touch upon. Oh yeah, there will be areas where there will be a lot of enemies. I don't know. I don't know why they thought that more enemies means harder gameplay. It really isn't. It's just tedious. You can avoid most of them, but you will be tempted to kill most of them because of the experience. You can become a powerhouse. You can go 400 levels up easily if you do everything. But if you reach 200, you're more than enough, more than powerful enough to defeat everything. I'm going to play a melee style character, and we're gonna be independent all the way to the end of the game. And I'm gonna join Beliar. I really want to join Beliar in this game. Adanos is the worst ending out of all of them, and it's one of the lamest as well. Enos is good, but Beliar is more, I don't know, has the most flair to it, and I think it's the most difficult ending out of all three out of all the three. But it's good. It's good. So let's start because I've talked enough about it. Hope the music won't be too loud in the game. I'll try not to make it incredibly crazy. We're gonna just start with the cutscenes, and then in the gameplay we're just gonna jump into a fight, and we're gonna be with the Orc Slayer for some reason, which is not the best weapon in the game, but yeah, okay. The loading does take a while. For a game this age, you would expect it to load faster, but oh well. What can we do? And probably do try to play with the tutorial at the beginning. It helps a bit. I'll disable it because I know how to do most of the things. And magic and range are super overpowered. This cutscene is quite well made and long, but I really like it. Oh, and the game was rushed out because Joe Wood and Piranha Bytes split up. I don't know why they divorced, but oh well. They did. They were going to make this game quite well if they would have attributed more time to it. Gothic 3. And it's cool that we have continuity from 2 with the ship. I don't know exactly what happened to the Paladin because it's not here anymore. Oh yeah. The Orc army. They also speak English, which is sad. This is King Robar the third, I think, or the second. But the animation, the character animations improved. Interestingly enough, he's a mage. That's Robar stuff. Oh look, they made a mini barrier. Ha ha. But they did trap some orcs inside. I love this music.
I will crush you like a...
So yeah, disable this. Actually, problem. So if you want to take a weapon out, go with the mouse over and press enter. And I'm gonna do this just to prove a point. I'm just gonna melee fight them. Because they cannot protect themselves. And look at this. Ouch. Well, they can do that. Hey, hey, hey. Ow. Well, they won't kill you, but... The ragdoll is pretty bad. Oh, come on. Oh, I forgot to... Yeah, you need to equip the weapon, basically. But the fists in this case. Come on, get up. So the ragdoll is just... yeah. Sad. It's really, really sad. Let's drink some potions. And be careful, you can actually drink potions when you're fully healed, so that's a waste. Ouch, I didn't manage to defend myself. Ouch. There is a special attack. Oh, come on, get up. I lost my weapon, it seems. Somewhere. Where the hell did I drop my weapon? Okay. You might want to kill them. Oh my god. You might want to kill them yourself because of the experience. Now, you can do the power attack. If you could. Just not kill me. I'll show ya. Well, this kind of sucks. Oh, come on! Ah, I missed! Can I just reload? I made this a load in day one. Yeah, I'm pretty good at this game. This is the first game I started in the Gothic series. I was impressed, and I couldn't even run the cutscene when I first got the game because the game would crash. So I had to skip it, and I never knew how the cutscene looked like for many years. Okay. Let's try this guy. Oh, come on, no! You can just defend and attack. Oh, come on, you moved! No! Oh, you can't defend against... You're so annoying! There we go. Finally. But if you fist fight them, you can defeat them faster. Well, even when they're defending, they're getting damage, so that's something. But if they do a power attack, your defense is not good enough. Boss. Boss. Hey. Good. Be careful, sometimes you can attack allies by accident. You can also sleep if you really want to. Don't worry about the slaves. Oh, we leveled up. Hey! So yeah, combat might have been improved, but it's still silly. And you can cheese it like crazy. There is a statue of Venus there where you can pray and get upgrades and whatever you wish. Hey! Yep, there we go, the beautiful log. I think you get experience if they kill the orcs themselves, I'm not sure.
Stop right there.
And another thing that I really hate about the game is that you'll have so many things to ouch, to plunder. Oops. It's annoying. It's really annoying. But you can do it anytime. I mean, not anytime. If you release this city, they're going to populate the shacks, and then it would be considered stealing.
I gotcha.
Okay, we release them, and they start running. You can try to shoot them, but don't bother. They will disappear. So I don't remember how you could take call. There was an option, I think. Rush. You want this world map. So the world map looks like this. These are all of the cities. And there is quite a lot to explore. Right now we're over here, where my mouse is. But I don't know why they're showing all of these things. I thought it should be hidden and you would discover them on exploration. So look at this. You have this map, and if I press this map, it shows me where all the rebel bases are. Interesting. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so now all of this begins, which is annoying. They're not worth much, but it's gonna get us through the game. Important thing, don't read the lecterns. They give you like some experience and stuff, and if you want to get the most out of them,
What have you
then
done? The orcs would have let us live. Now Zardas will send even more of them after us. You need to go to Reduk.
I'll talk to you after that. Okay, they won't care if we do this. Now we instantly get teleport stones. You just have to find them. It's just kind of annoying. We'll have to talk to our friends. Oh, come on, warrior. Cooperate. Later on you will find some merchants here, which is really nice. What I recommend, if they're green, they're your friends. What I recommend is you loot the smithy. The smithy has a lot of good stuff. And if you want to loot a bit faster, just press Control and do this. Collect everything. You don't have to do the animation. Okay, so we have some lockpicks here, and we know how to make broadswords for the moment. We can learn to make everything in the game, which is kind of sad that you can do this. No more getting strength with apples, unfortunately. But there are a few things. Now, there's a lot of plants. And again, if you're not using a guide, if you want to collect everything, it's gonna be a pain. I think I will just avoid the guides for the most part, and just concentrate on what I find, use on what I find. The weapons are not good, but you can sell them. Also, do try to get all of the food, and because the sad part is that you'll have to do so many fetch quests. They will ask you for all sorts of items, especially weapon bundles. Those are the most annoying ones. I think inside here, don't remember. I think there was a chest in that corner somewhere, or maybe it was a community patch thing. I can't remember. Why can't I jump? Weird. Let me do a save. Cool thing now. You can quick save with F5 and quick load with F9. Things that were not available in the game before. Yeah, I might get just stuck if I try. Never mind. There is a lectern over here that, again, don't read it because it gives you experience and stuff, and you want to keep that for as late game as possible. But I'll demonstrate just so you know how it is. A bookshelf. Well, sometimes they're called lecterns, sometimes bookshelves. And the annoying part is like saving and loading in this game is also kind of takes a bunch of time.
In the beginning, the nomads roamed the land, and the eternal wanderer led the way.
Yeah, ancient knowledge. So you might want to learn ancient knowledge by yourself and then apply the bonuses. So don't waste the ancient knowledges. Bookshelves. There are also alchemy ones. I think it's kind of like in Gothic 2 where they stack the learning points and it gets increasingly costlier or more expensive to upgrade. But since we are going to focus mostly on strength and not on well, ancient knowledge is good for magic, but it's still good to learn if you want to be sort of a paladin or use some basic spells to heal yourself. Now, I think this is the game that inspired The Witcher and later on the Skyrim with Oblivion and so on, because I think this game came before them, if I remember correctly. I might be mistaken, I'm not 100% sure, but I know The Witcher 1 really got inspired by Gothic. I don't know exactly which one, but I suppose it's this one. Again, another lectern. Some of them don't do anything. Again, look for a guide if you want to know where to go and where to learn them. I'm just gonna avoid them for now. Oh. An interesting new feature they added. Well, it's just like basically on Gothic 2, but there is one problem. You cannot jump like in Gothic 2. So you cannot climb edges or stuff like that. But you could technically jump out through this hole and climb on the roof. It's much better to just go to do it from this side, but it's a pain to stay on the roofs. You're gonna fall. What? Oh, that's so sad. That is really, really sad. Ah, thank you, game. You never cease to amaze me. And we still didn't even finish the first village. This is a village. Oh, and the music is really good. The music is top notch. It's one of the best out of all three Gothics, in my opinion. I mean, you can just stay in the game and just listen to the music. It's so amazing. Okay, let me demonstrate a bit with the Innos statue. So if you want to upgrade, you just go to the shrine. And you can learn ancient magic, higher ancient magic, life force, magic power, and endurance. Never get endurance. It's a waste, really. It's for the stamina. If you want to see the spells, here there are. I'm not sure if you can learn from both of them. And this is basically Adanos magic. I do encourage you try to get 230 knowledge if you wish to open all the chests without using lockpicks. It also has the sleep option, which is really nice. These ones are not the best. The golem is probably okay. Animal form, yeah, it's very useful, but there are other ways around that. Iceland's not that great. Summoning Goblin, don't waste your time. Taming could be nice if you want to play sort of a druid and you can tame some animals. But it also requires you to have higher ancient knowledge. Telekinesis, there are a few places where you could use it. Summoning animals, this is nearby animals, not really useful. Hailstorm, it's an okay spell, but this one is quite cool. The time bubble, you can slow time down. Really, really nice. Now, Innos spells are good for healing, and you can even heal others, which is really cool. You can bless your weapon. You can summon a flaming sword, but I don't know. It's tricky to play with that. Banish Evil is really good. It doesn't kill undead in one go, but it's good. The Fireball is okay, it's decent. Flame Wave, it's good, but it's very situational. But you get Fire Rain early on, which is really, really awesome. And then Meteor Shower, no, only a Meteor, which is also very powerful. And Word of Dominance, you can convince somebody to follow you, but I think it's only for humans. I don't think it applies to orcs. On the other hand, you can transfer disease, which is not really good. You can poison somebody. Again, not really great. There are other ways around it. Lightning Bolt is okay. Fog is quite an interesting spell. You can blind them basically and attack them in the fog. It's really interesting. Terror, situational but good. Bloodlust is really epic if you want to make the enemy fight between themselves. Amnesia, I think this one is important if you want to make people forget your crimes. Skeletons are okay. They're okay. This one is an interesting one. And for example, if you're in the night and you don't like night, you can change it to day. but you can do it once a day or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not sure what applications are other than that, but whatever. Now, summoning a demon is very powerful, but then you have Summon Lightning, which is extremely powerful spell. And then Soul Travel, this one, I don't know. It's good if you want to scout ahead, but not really crazy. Unfortunately, the Army of Darkness is not as great as it sounds. It's a bit finicky. Piranha Bytes deactivated this spell. What the hell? I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure you can use it right away, but as you see, it's 250 knowledge. So if you reach 250, you'll be decent, but you can go up to 300, 400. I have seen even games where they went much higher than that. But it takes a lot of grinding, and you really need to know the game inside out, and it's really not worth it because this game is super huge. So Gothic 2 took me twice as long to finish versus Gothic 1. This is 4 times bigger than Gothic 2. So you can imagine how long it will take me. You can do a combination between spells, but you need to have some spells known before you can. So, for example, in order to I think to use Amnesia, you need to learn Terror first. And in order to learn Terror, you need to learn Transfer Disease or Poison or one of these two. So you can't just learn anything at will. You still have to learn some of the previous spells. This one is really good, but you're not getting any experience if they kill each other. So use it with caution. So again, let me just quickly collect everything here. There are a lot of useless items. And I know it's me speaking most of the game right now, but believe me, I'm doing you a favor explaining all of these things from the beginning because it's kind of sad. Oh, also you can use the orc crossbows are quite difficult to get, but you can use strength for them. And so I think in Gothic 2 you needed stamina instead of strength. Okay, once they left, they will leave their weapons behind, so you can collect them. As you can see, all of the and you can now hunt, which is really nice. All of the plants are super easy to spot now. They stand out. Now hunting could be good. It's profitable.
I cannot create anything at the moment.
Yes, I can.
I cannot create anything at the moment.
Slave. What are you looking at me, slave? Don't read this bookshelf, bookstand or whatever, because it has... it teaches you about alchemy, so you don't want to learn that just yet. There were some... weird, I can't jump everywhere. Maybe the game still has some issues. But what can you do? Now these chests require me to open with lockpicks, and unfortunately some chests will require you to learn to pick locks. But fortunately there are spells or scrolls that unlock chests. So in my opinion, if you don't want to learn magic, go for the ancient knowledge of 230 and open locks with this spell, because, well, let's see. If you would go with 230, you can summon demons. But then again, why am I even bothering? Maybe you will want to learn cure disease. This one is really important because disease can make your stamina be constantly lost, so it's a problem, and it's permanent. So you have to cure yourself either with this spell or with a potion. There is also a bug in the game that you can't remove the disease, but whatever. Cure poison, yeah, blood flies can poison you, and there are some other things that can poison you. Really important spell. But again, there are antidotes, especially if you learn alchemy. And healing. Healing is quite okay, especially if you play as as um, as a paladin, and it becomes more increasingly powerful based on how much ancient knowledge you have. But if you go with 30, you can't go wrong. So I do encourage you to take this at one point, but what I highly encourage you to do, where is it, is to learn this. And this requires ancient knowledge 100. And I would suggest to you that you neglect everything else and go for this one first. It will take around 6 levels or so to learn quickly, but it's such an important thing to learn, because every time you level up, you receive an additional learning point, and it adds up. You could technically go all around and read all of the books that give you learning ancient knowledge to reach 100, but it's a waste of that ancient knowledge, and you'll have to go all over the map to do that, so it's cheesy. Don't do that. Just invest some points and get this one, and after that everything will become easier. You'll have to do quite a few quests. Now, pickpocketing. I think I'm gonna learn all of this just for role-playing experience. Knockout can also be interesting if you don't want to kill somebody. You can also murder. That's also interesting. And Master Thievery, it's really, really good if you want to pickpocket even the highest characters. I will avoid range as a skill, but we can learn two blades, the Master of Two Blades. So I'm gonna go for this, but it requires hunting skill 200. So we will need to learn hunting. And also, it also helps us to kill orcs better if we want to. And regardless of which ones you side with, do learn to kill orcs better, especially with the bows, because some orcs will hunt you down regardless of who you joined with. You also have shield parry, but I'm gonna avoid this. Paladin, I'm not sure, but you can learn regenerate, which is a really good thing, but it requires strength 300, so it's gonna take a while. Yeah, this we might learn. You didn't need a trainer to learn this from. Large weapons are good. I think they are for polearm as well. I'm not sure. Or maybe this is it. I'm not entirely sure how it was, but I'm gonna avoid large weapons and I'm gonna just go with this. And swordsman is also good, but you can only use, well, a sword and maybe a shield, but you also have to input in the shield. So I think only the large weapon is the only one that does not require you to learn anything else. Because oh, this one requires hunting as well. I didn't see this. So these two don't require anything. Interesting. And this one either. And we might learn to do this as well. These are not necessary, but they will help. And I'll learn alchemy because we can do some very cool stuff. I'm gonna avoid the arrows, especially the poison arrows are a waste of time. But you can do some transformation potions, which is really cool. Again, there are other ways to transform, and we will discover that in game. Poison blade is something that I really want to have. So yeah, we're gonna learn this one first, and it's gonna take a bit of cheesing from our side. And then we're gonna start with strong sword fighter. Oh, okay. So I need to do all of this. Requires strength 150. So we'll need 50 into those. I think I'm gonna upgrade strength and hunting at the same time. And that way we can go to strong sword fighter, and because hunting also helps us with animals and various things. So 130 hunting, 150 if we want to sneak up on animals, which is interesting. So we're gonna learn all 5 of these. This one we already learned for some reason. We're gonna learn this late game. We're gonna learn most of this. We're going to put a lot of points in here, around 40 it seems. And the rest in this, but I'm gonna probably avoid this for a while. It's important that you do this. Haggling, it's good if you're gonna steal from towns and if you're going to attempt to escape some issues. I think you should learn this though. And this one we'll learn way later. You will have to learn them from some people. That's not an issue. So this one is our first priority. Again, try to loot everything so it doesn't look like you're stealing from anyone. And you'll get quite a few good things. Game. Cooperate. Can also pick stuff from the ground when you're in crouch mode. Now. Oh, and you can wash. We can see quite far in the game, like unlike Gothic 2. So you can see the castle from here with the barrier. There is a lighthouse over there. There's quite a few things. Whoa. Quite a few things around. Let's not die again. And I think we can see Cape Dune from over here barely. It's right in that direction. But again, we'll explore. There's quite a few things around and quite a lot of plants. You can even see the plants from over here. At least I can observe them, so that's cool. One other place to go and loot here. I mean, you'll loot everything, but It's important that you go in this house. And loot stuff. It's very easy to kind of get into houses. And steal everything, so I'm kind of disappointed in that, because nobody stops you. It's like, hey, what you doing there? Nah, yeah, go right in, take whatever you wish. It's immersion breaking, but as I said, the game hasn't been finished, unfortunately. Unfortunately. There aren't many houses in here, but enough to matter. And again, you can exterminate everyone if you wish. I think your friends... You can't exterminate your friends at the beginning, but later on, I think you can clean the map if that's what you're aiming for. Sleeping also makes it easy to recover HP and stamina and mana. So that's crazy. Let's see, which one did I miss? I think this one. Yeah, a lot of unnecessary stuff. Also check inside through the cupboards and stuff like that, because they can be hidden. There can be hidden things. A lot of junk. You'll just probably sell most of this at the beginning. Later on you can just try to avoid, well, maybe not avoid everything. I know there is a stupid quest that tells you like, oh, we need a lot of hammers and a lot of saws and a lot of I don't know what else. It's like, really? Why? And you have to go around and look for silly things all over Mirtana. So just keep those in your inventory, even the useless stuff. Okay, I think we've cleared up everything. It's nice that you cannot, once you've collected it from the body, you don't open the body anymore. So let's talk to him.
What has Zardes got to do with the orcs?
What's wrong with you? Haven't you been here these last few weeks?
No.
Zardes is the leader of the orcs. He betrayed us.
What else do you know about Zardes?
He destroyed the rune magic, that filthy swine. Deprived of their magic, paladins and fire mages never stood a chance against the hordes of orcs.
Yeah, interesting. I can have magic, but magicians lost some of their magic, and they still have some runes. And I mean, there are no runes for us, just the teleport stones. But we'll have to get the chalices for the paladins to recover their energy, their power, and it's annoying.
What's in Reddick?
The rebel camp. It's in the middle of the forest, where the wolves are.
I can handle wolves.
Yes, but those beasts are awfully aggressive, and you won't be able to find it by yourself. I think your buddy Gorn knows where it is. You should go talk to him.
Yeah, you will have a lot of companions here. It's quite game-breaking.
What should I tell the rebels?
Tell their leaders to send us fighters. We don't stand a chance by ourselves. Now we're also in it up to our necks.
This guy's eyes are gonna pop out. Yeah, in order to raise your reputation with the factions, you'll have to do a lot of quests. I kind of like that. It's interesting. Gorn can take us there, but we're not just... Well, talk to Milton and to Diego before you go. Well, actually, we'll talk to all of them. But I'm gonna save right here. And we're gonna continue next time. There are more things that are going to disappoint us. I know I don't sound so happy about the game. It is still a very nice game to play. And it's still enjoyable at times. But there are a lot of counters to it. A lot of issues, and yeah, sometimes it makes me sad. I'm gonna just take a nap here until the morning. just to recover my energy. But the game looks beautiful. Okay, so another save, and we'll continue next time. You guys stay awesome. Catch you next time. See ya. Bye 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 bye.